Well, I've got one in my car, got one in my truck. Now I've got one in my airplane. It's that low fuel level light. Yeah, I go through the process of installing a low fuel level light. Hope you enjoy this one. Thanks for watching.
Well, welcome back. As you can see, we're not in the hangar. We're in my workshop again. Really messy workshop. Seems like it's perpetually messy. As soon as I get this thing cleaned up around here, it ends up being a mess again. Well, that's what you get for playing with electronics, I guess. Okay, so if you remember from the last video, I was doing that business with the wiring for the low fuel output. When I purchased that capacitive probe fuel level sending unit, I ordered the one with the low fuel output option. Actually, I didn't know I was ordering that one. It was the wrong part number, I guess, or I clicked on the wrong one. And anyways, that's the one I got. And when I discovered that, I'm going, I'm gonna utilize that output. It's there. I might as well. Now, if you recall, on my panel, I have 8 lights that light up for various functions, and I will show that to you right here. And those 8 lights are already dedicated to tasks, so I'm going to be rededicating one of those outputs for the low fuel level output instead. I'm going to sacrifice one. It's probably one of the fused outputs. So either the radio fuse or the transponder fuse. I think it's the transponder fuse. Excuse me. Transponder fuse that I'm going to take that fused input, and instead of lighting up its own light, it'll be part of the fuse output light, which picks up all the rest that don't have independence. So I've already removed the screws out of this, and let's open this thing up. Okay. So let's take a look inside here, shall we? Oh, you know what? I need my glasses. Unfortunately, for reading or looking at things close. And nice pair of tweezers. And oh, looky here, what I found. I forgot I had done this. See, all of these inputs here, there are 10 inputs. I didn't wire anything up into number 10. There's no wires coming out of here. But number 9 has wires coming out of it, and it's turned off. So it's not being used for anything, but it's already tied into my I/O jacks. Oh, okay. Well, let's see. The trigger input is this blue, and it's tied to. Let's get a little better light on this. Okay, this trigger here is tied to number 12. Yeah. That's number 12 right there, because it's 13 at the end. Oh, the output from here, when it goes in alarm, is this brown wire. Oh, and it's on the bottom, of course, because there we go. The output is back there. That is, well, you can't see it in the camera there, but I can see it. That's number 9. So number 9 here, which makes sense, because output 1 through 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I tied them through pins 1 through 9. There would have been a 10 here if I had tied in number 10. So that makes logical sense. The outputs follow the numbers. The inputs don't, because I've got a circuit board at the bottom here, underneath this one, that's the same as this, only it's stripped and only functions as an input looking for a constant current or a fuse. So if a fuse blows, then it triggers its output, and that one I tied into number 8. Number 8 was the output that I'm using for the fuses that don't have their own independent output. So I don't need to resolder anything. All I need to do is this. Let's see if you guys can see that on camera. Pardon me for sniffling. That's output number 9, and if I flip switch number 3 on, I now activate this I/O port to look for a positive trigger. Not constant current like a fuse, but a positive trigger. So it's now active. I give this a positive trigger, it'll go into alarm and light up a light. And all I need to do then is to add a 9th light to my panel. Oh, this is easy. A lot easier than I thought. I probably should have wired up number 10 to number 10, but I didn't. Okay. So, oh, and look at that. Off camera, I have another light. Now this is one I was using in testing, and it says fuel pump. So I'll just open this up and replace that that says low fuel. Got to drill a hole in my panel, mount this, wire it up the I/O or the output actually on this one here. Wire it up to the output. Wire the input or the trigger coming from the low fuel sending unit in the back of the aircraft into input number 12 here. Output number 9 goes to this common ground, and done. Wow, I thought I'd be spending like 20 minutes, half an hour tearing this thing apart a bit and soldering and rewiring and whatnot, and then retasking the light. I don't have to do any of that. I'll leave those 8 lights as they are and just add a 9th light. Bonus. Okay, so yeah, this is easy. Huh. No solder smoke to inhale. Yeah, that's all right. So I'm going to close this box up, put some leads onto that light, replace the label, and head out to the hangar. So let's carry on out at the hangar and pick this thing up at the airplane. So the magic of video editing, let's head out to the hangar now. And just like that, we're in the hangar. Okay, we are. What I need to do now, in order to get this green wire to light up a light on the panel, is I need to route it through. What's going on here? Yeah, I got to route it through and connect it to this 25-pin D-sub, and connect the light to this 25-pin D-sub to the right terminals, of course. And I got to drill a hole in this panel. Now I got to decide where I want to put that light. Let's take a look at the front of the panel. Actually, no, you know what? Let's take a look at the back of it first to see what clearances we have. So, follow me. Okay, well, as we can see, I do have clearance over this first light. I probably have clearance over this last light here, but it's kind of tight. So if any place, it's got to go right here. But I'm also thinking maybe put it in the middle up here. Well, let's look at it from the front and see what that looks like. Okay, as we can see, I don't have enough space in the top of the center of the panel. Besides, I think that wouldn't balance properly. Over here, above the fuel pump, low fuel would make logical sense. But it doesn't really have to be. I think the clearance in behind is too tight. So really, the only place I have is right here, above the EIS alarm. Right there. Okay, so let's get the drill out and see if I can't drill a hole in there and make sure it's nicely centered. That's one of the keys, is make sure it's nicely centered so it's not, well, you know, off kilter. Because it's got a balance, you know, and I think that will be okay. It'll look balanced. So, Okay, well, let's get started. Okay, after careful measuring, that's the center right there. And that's, let's just double check that. That's right there. Yes, we're good. Okay. A lot of this is just eyeballing, you know what I mean? However, yeah, that'll work. Okay, we are somewhat committed. I can make adjustments. If it's completely off, I can clear out the backside and up. Now, some of you who don't do a lot of work with tools might wonder, why don't I just go to the size that I need after drilling a pilot hole? Well, the reason for that is because by drilling it step by step like this, I do make a cleaner hole, have better control over it. Now, I can remember when I was a kid, which goes back a few years, my shops teacher, when they had shops in schools, I think they still do, he was the one that showed me that. He said, never go from their pilot to your full size if you can avoid it. He says, you'll make a cleaner hole and have better control by stepping your way up to your final hole. That's okay. So that's what I'm doing. I'm stepping my way up to the final hole. Now, he also said halfway through or so, take a look and make sure you're still on target. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to go behind the camera, look at that hole and see whether it's lined up the way I want it. Lefty, righty, okie dokie. Upsy, downsy, seems okie dokie as well. Now, is this too big of a step? I don't think so. No blowout, that's good. And that was the final size. I'll go grab the light and see. See, this is aluminum, so it's non-ferrous. I can't stick a magnet in there and pick up little shavings. Oh well, gotta use a vacuum. First, tool control. I'm finished with these drill bits. So the drill bits go back into the case in their proper location right now before I do my next step. I shall be right back. Of course, the other way to do this would be to remove the panel, disassemble everything, and start from scratch. I don't want to do that. Well, it looks better lined up this way. And upsy downsy, it is in line with the reset button, so I shall leave it like that. I don't want to play around with it anymore, because that's when mistakes happen. And I don't want to make mistakes, at least not big ones. I'll make little mistakes, okay? I ain't perfect. So, put the lock nut on the back. Make sure this is right set up. Low fuel upside down. Wouldn't that be something? All right. Now, yeah, I'm gonna have to cut these little tie straps and add this line to it. The ground, on the other hand, here, the black wire, can just be soldered to there. That's all I'm going to do is solder it and add it to that ground. So, yeah. Let's get going on that. And put this in. This in. Okay, well, let's turn the backup system on, which will activate these lights. Now the low fuel light should not come on because the master switch isn't on, which means the sending unit is not getting power, therefore there should be no power to light that light up. Let's see if I'm right. That's the first test. Ah, look at that. Okay, I'm going to silence it. Perfect. Okay, let's take a look at the sending unit right now. Okay, there's the fuel sending unit. You notice the little 3 LEDs are off. So I'm going to turn the master switch on. And there we go. Now it is active. Okay, and as you can see again, I turn the master switch off. Fuel sending unit is off. Turn the master switch on, which sends power to the fuel level. And I get a low fuel output, which is exactly what I should be getting. So let's turn off the backup and turn it back on again. And there we go. All right. EFIS, EIS, okay, EFIS is clear. Oh, EIS not quite, there we go. Engine information system's on. Okay, the only one that is active is the ones that should be active, the charging circuit, because the engine's not running. Well, no engine yet. And the low fuel, because, hey, the fuel tank is empty. That should be lit up. Well, there we go. I think this is a win. Yay. So I now have a low fuel indicator on my panel. Nice.
2 very boring minutes later.
But anyways, enough blather and yak. Hopefully I can trim this video down to a decent 20 to 25 minute length. Appreciate everybody for following along, and remember, like and subscribe and comment. Say hello. Say hello from wherever you're at. Just say hi from so-and-so. Let's see how many people will say hi from where they're from. That is for all the people who've watched till the end of this video. I don't know why. It's when you look at the analytics, they say, you know, what percentage of people watch the entire video and what percentage, you know, stopped after halfway through, sort of thing. I don't know. When I watch a video, I watch it right to the end if there's something interesting. If it's not interesting at all, I shut it off within, you know, 10 seconds or 30 seconds or whatever. This is not interested, click. But if you go past that, don't you watch it till the end? You know? I don't know. Maybe I'm odd. Anyways, again, thanks for following along. I do appreciate it. Keep your stick on the ice. Bye for now. See you again in the hangar.
Well, like, subscribe, and thank you very much for joining me in the hangar once again as I work on my Challenger 2. See you again. Bye-bye.